Today we're going to discuss the 5 main valuable platforms to DJ on: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Mixcloud, and Twitch. There are others, but these are the ones that most want to stream on, most people know about, ones that have a user base, and ones that have more benefits than some of the others at this point. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so there are pros and cons to every platform. So let's start with Facebook. So the pros here with Facebook is the most obvious. There's already a lot of people there. A lot of people already have the app. They spend a lot of time there, and they are just constantly scrolling through their feed. So, they can easily see when you're live as they're scrolling through their phone, and you just pop up in their feed. You probably already likely built a fan base there. That's another big benefit. You have an artist page or a business page. You've probably already, put in the work to build followers and so forth there. So, or you got friends and family that are there. So when you go live, they're all getting the video popping up in their feed. And then you can also, another huge benefit, easily share your live video to groups or do watch parties or what have you. You can easily share it, and then your friends and family, they can also share it, and then that gives you a wider spread. So there's a lot of really good benefits to wanting to stream on Facebook, but there are a lot of really major cons to look at. The main one, if you've ever streamed on Facebook, I'm pretty sure you've run into this already. You keep getting flagged and shut down. You can't get through your entire set that you wanted to do or whatever time frame you were planning on doing it because you keep getting shut down by Facebook. Sometimes they shut you down and you get a copyright flag. Sometimes you just get shut down and you don't know why. So as far as not knowing why, I think there's a time limit. I haven't found any confirmation on that, but I've seen where there's some kind of time restrictions. Whenever I've tried it, it usually shuts down at about 40 minutes. But I've heard people going, a couple of hours. So I don't really know at this point why that happens if you're not flagged. But the main reason why most people get shut down is due to the algorithm that Facebook uses by a company called Audible Magic. Audible Magic has a deal with most of the record labels and publishers, distributors. They all have contracts with them, and Audible Magic has a list of or a database rather of different songs from those companies. And so if you play a song by an artist that's on one of those labels or distributed by that company or published by that company, what have you, then it might be in that database, and that database looks for that algorithm uses that database to look for a match of the waveform for the song you're playing and to match something they have in the database. And if it finds it, it flags it. The problem with this on Facebook is Facebook actually does this on the fly. While you're actually live, it's monitoring the audio that you're playing. So if anything matches up, it's going to flag you and it's going to shut you down. And then you're going to get that copyright notice. You don't want that, because what's going to happen is if you get too many of those copyright notices, they can put you in what people call Facebook jail. So you don't want that to happen, because that could, be detrimental to that fan base of followers that you've already built up and cause you to lose that. So you don't want to have that happen. Sometimes those copyright flags can be disputed. Some of the labels are actually okay with it, but the database is already there for other reasons, so it just automatically flags it. But if you dispute it, some of them will release it. From my knowledge, the only one I know for certain that will not release it is Sony. So you can, I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers is one that always does. So you can try the disputes, but that doesn't help if you've already been cut offline. So you've already repeatedly gotten shut down online and had to repeatedly do multiple videos, and people aren't following you to the next video, and your viewer count's getting lower. It's just not worth the effort sometimes. So you take that information and do what you want with it. If you want to keep fighting the system, you can. The problem is there's no license that exists for Facebook or any platform to cover you playing music online. Not like how a club has a blanket license that they can use, or a radio station has a license for them to be able to play music over the radio. Doesn't exist for the internet. So that's the problem that we're running into. Plus, Facebook had some contract they signed like a couple years ago to flag anything like this. So that just happened. They're not going to make any changes to that anytime soon unless somebody creates this license that we need and makes it happen. So for now, it is what it is. So take that information and do what you want with it. If you want to keep going on Facebook, that's up to you. There's other viable options we'll get to in a bit. So that's Facebook. Let's go on to the next one. So the next platform that we want to look at is Instagram. Now, let's be honest. Nobody was really thinking about DJing on Instagram like that until D-Nice did it. That was a huge change to our industry. Once he did that first initial live, and he had thousands of people in his live stream, that it's celebrities, Michelle Obama, you know what I'm saying? It was like a lot of people that were in there, and it was pretty crazy. So now we kind of have a shift with Instagram, and there are people that are expecting DJs to be live on Instagram. So that's a huge bonus to those of us that actually want to use that as a platform, because they can, once they have, people that are following them, they can, when they go live, another benefit is it's easy to see that you're live, because as soon as they go into Instagram, they look right up at the top, and then they can see that you're live. They see your profile picture, and they just tap on that, and then boom, they're in. And then there's the other benefit that, just like on Facebook, everybody's already there. Just about everybody has Instagram accounts. I know people that have Instagram accounts that won't even go on Facebook. I mean, it's that big, and vice versa. So it's a lot of people on that platform already. The only hook is that in order for them to really be able to see that you're live, they have to be following you. Otherwise, they have to specifically search for you. So there might be some marketing you have to do in that regard, but once they find you and see that icon there, it's super easy for them to get in. Now, to the cons, the downside to that being super easy for them to get in is they got to stay in there. If they want to do any kind of other thing on their device, they got to leave your live video in order to go look through their Instagram feed, or go to Facebook, or pull up a website, any answer to the phone, anything they want to do on their mobile device, they have to leave your live in order to do that. So that's a negative, because you can't be guaranteed you're going to keep them there as long as you could on other platforms that allows them to multitask from that one device. That also is another thing, is that viewers are forced to actually use their mobile device in order to watch you. So while it may be great if they have a tablet as well, they can use the tablet instead of their phone. A lot of people are using their phone for everything, so they would have to basically choose that they want to stay in your live and not do other stuff with their phone. And they're forced to only go that route. They don't have the ability to go to their computer and pull up the Instagram website, or install an app on your computer. It doesn't exist. So the website doesn't have that. Now, from my understanding, there's some changes coming to Instagram soon. and that might be one of the changes, where they make it where you can actually see the live videos from the website. But as of right now, as the making of this video, there's not a way to actually do that. You as the streamer are officially forced to use your mobile device to do the stream. So you connect up your direct audio to it, and you got to prop up your phone vertically and fit yourself in frame and stream there with your phone. And then on top of that, there's a time limit of about, I think it's an hour, where after that hour point, it'll kick you offline. So I mean, there's nothing you could do about that. That's just how Instagram is designed. It wasn't really designed for us to be DJing through. It was designed for people just out and about on their regular day and just making little quick live videos, talking with their followers or friends or whatever. So that's just one of those it is what it is kind of things. Now, as far as streaming with your mobile device, there is an alternative that you can use your computer, which you should be using your computer and not your phone to stream. That's for another video. We'll get into that. But you can use your computer and use Yellow Duck. I'm not recommending that you do. I've heard of some really weird things in relation to Yellow Duck. For everything that we know about Yellow Duck, there's much more we don't know. There's ways that it works where it basically is logging into your account through Yellow Duck, and then it's kind of a backdoor hack in order for you to be able to connect your OBS or whatever software you're using on your computer to Instagram, and you got to do it really quick. Like, you got to be on it, and if it's not connecting in time, it'll fail. If you wanted to try to see the comments, you got to use a completely different account on your mobile device to go into the live, because Yellow Duck is in your account, and you can only be in the account in the live on one account, or one device rather. So you would have to create a second account if you don't already have one, and use that one to go into the live just so you can see what people are saying. So it's just a little weird, tricky thing about how it works. And I've heard some suspicious things about, after people have used Yellow Duck, their IG accounts have been hacked into. And I don't know if that's exact correlation or whatever, but it's a bunch of people that have said that that's happened to them. So it's a little suspect. So I'm not recommending that you do it until we know more, but that is what it is. And now, actually, probably the biggest downside to it is that Facebook, who owns Instagram, has now added the Audible Magic algorithm to Instagram Live. So now, when you go live, it monitors just like Facebook does while you're live and looks for any matches in the audio, and that's it. It'll flag you and it'll kick you out. And after a certain number of times, they're gonna lock your account. You may get your account deleted. Who knows how far they might go with the repercussions of it, but that's basically what we're looking at as far as that goes. So once again, take that information and do what you will with it, but it's not my recommendation to go to Instagram for a number of reasons, most of which I've outlined. There's better options. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so let's move on to YouTube. So now YouTube has the huge benefit of having a huge base of people that already know about YouTube and already have the app for YouTube on multiple devices. If you've got an Android phone, it probably came pre-installed. Got an iPhone, you probably installed it yourself because you're gonna go on YouTube at some point or another. You've got game systems, you've got Fire Sticks, smart TVs. They've got YouTube apps available easily, sometimes already pre-installed. So YouTube has this huge base of people that already know about it, and are good with going on it, if you can direct them in that direction. The biggest benefit of as a DJ is that YouTube doesn't cut you off while you're live. You can play as long as you want, and there's no time limits, none that I've ever seen anyone reach. And I'm talking about hours and hours, like 8 hours, plus. So it's not, one that anyone's ever reached, if there is one that exists. So you can go live and stream, for as long as you want, and it's not gonna shut you down. They've got a lot of add-ons that you can integrate from other services to add other functionalities, but we'll get into details on that in another video, because that's a lot to unpack right there. Again, also another thing that'll be in another video, and it's a lot of information on, is monetizing. YouTube does have some monetization options to where you can actually make money through the platform itself. We're not talking about donations or tips through your Cash App or to your PayPal or anything like that. We're talking about actually straight through the platform, where they're clicking on icons or links on the screen, and it goes through YouTube and gets to you, or just through how YouTube through like ad revenue and those kind of things. So they have monetizing options available that you can integrate. The downsides, starting with monetization, is it's much more difficult to get that active on YouTube than it is on the next two platforms that we're going to talk about. They have what's called the YouTube Partner Program. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 unique watched hours in order to qualify for that program. Doesn't mean you're in, just means that you qualify for it. So that's something that you have to kind of take into account if that's what you're looking at trying to get into, to try to monetize. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of patience to get to that point. I've known some people to get to it. I don't know any DJs actually that have gotten that, but for the most part, DJing on any social media platform at this point is still pretty new in terms of being a widespread thing. So I'm sure at some point someone will get to that, but like right now with YouTube, it's not where someone's at. And also as far as platforms, that there's a lot of people on that platform of YouTube, but there's not a lot of people that instinctively think, hey, so-and-so is DJing, I'm gonna go over to YouTube, or I want to listen to somebody putting down a mix or a set right now live, and have that on to dance to or have background music and get me moving or whatever. YouTube is not the first thing that comes to their mind, so they're not going there directly specifically for that. Now, I did mention that one of the benefits is that YouTube doesn't cut you off while you're live. They don't, but you can have it save your live video so that someone can watch an archived copy of it later, and it shows up on your channel as like another video, as if you uploaded it. But the algorithm will run over that. So they still have the same Audible Magic algorithm that Facebook and Instagram have, and it will go over that video and find anything that is matching their database. If it does, it will mute the audio for those portions of the video. When you're monetized, what it can do, usually it'll give you an option to either demonetize the video, which means that you won't get any money that gets generated by that video. It will go to the copyright holders that were found in that video, and either that or you can have it muted. It would be up to you which way you want to go. That's something to take into consideration if you want to go over to YouTube. All right, so let's move on to the newbie in the scene, Mixcloud. So Mixcloud actually has been a platform where you can upload mixes to, just audio only. But they, when the pandemic hit and everybody was in quarantine, right about that time, they launched the beta to the market for Mixcloud Live, which is a great idea. Mixcloud is one of the only, I think might be only platform that has ever tried to do any have any kind of licensing for audio content, so that you wouldn't have any problems with anything that you uploaded. The license that they're using is either the same or similar. I'm not clear on that part of it, but this was information that came from the owners or creators of Mixcloud, that the license that they're using is basically the same or similar to the one that radio stations use. So it does have some limitations. Like for example, you can only have 3 or 4 tracks consecutively and within a certain time frame by the same artist, which was there for radio stations to keep them from being able to play entire albums over the air on the radio, and someone could just record the whole thing without ever buying the actual album. So back when we were doing that, so they had that license, so that's something that is a benefit for them, because they've been able to take that license and integrate it into the live videos or live streams that they're doing there as well. So that is probably the main thing that's keeping them really in the game right now, because they're still really early on. So even with it being in beta and having some of the early issues that it's having that license is a huge plus. They also have monetizing options. So you do have to have Mixcloud Pro once you in order to use live. Once you get Mixcloud Pro, so they do have monetizing options. In order to get those monetizing options, you do have to have Mixcloud Pro. Once you sign up for that, you get access to what's called Mixcloud Select, which that does give you the ability to monetize your content that you put on Mixcloud, including your audio recordings as well as the lives. So you can basically set a subscription price. I think $2.99 is the minimum, my understanding, and then from there you could set it to be higher than that if you want. But basically the way that works is, when people subscribe to you, then they pay that fee. I don't know, I couldn't find any information of whether there was a split with that amount, or if it was you get the entire amount. That part was not clear. I'm guessing you probably get the whole amount, since you are paying a subscription for Mixcloud Pro. Mixcloud Pro. Excuse me, that's kind of a tongue twister. But that is a feature that they do have, where you can monetize that way. They also have like Patreon style benefits, like you could set it up for your subscriber to get access to shows, like exclusive ones, early access to them, track lists, they get the track list early, things like that. So that's something that we'll dig deeper into in the monetizing video when we get to that. Now with Mixcloud, there definitely are some downsides. Like with any platform, everything's not roses and candy all the time. It is still in beta, like I mentioned before, and it was kind of a rush beta. They rushed it out of alpha to beta when the pandemic hit, to try to get out there to the market, because they saw the need that DJs had with legal streaming options with the licensing, because nobody else had any kind of licensing, and that was what their plan was. So they rushed that out. It's gotten better since over the few months that it's been out, but there's still a long way to go. They don't have the ability for anyone to see the live streams through their mobile app. So that's a big negative. But they do acknowledge that they don't have that and they need that, and they are working to add that at some point. But we don't know when. And it has not happened as of the recording of this video. So that's something that at this point is a big negative, because most people I know that are watching the live streams are using some sort of mobile device. I typically have a tablet on when I'm watching other people's streams. So that's a big thing. It's not free. I mentioned that before. You do have to have Mixcloud Pro. They did have a 3-month trial that they opened up when COVID-19 hit. That should be coming to the end of that offer at the end of June, which we're just about up on as of recording this video. If that's still active, I highly recommend signing up for it so you can give it a try. And then you can decide if you want to keep paying for it or not. I believe it's $15 a month. But you know, if not, I think they'll have some other kind of trial period, maybe like a 7-day thing or 30-day thing or something like that, that you can do outside of that. But right now they've got 3 months is what they were giving away, which is fantastic. That's an awesome thing that they did, and I appreciate that. That is another downside with Mixcloud, is that it's harder to get people onto the platform. You've got to really inform people about what Mixcloud is, and that's where you are and how to get there. That's probably, of all the ones that are on this list, that's the one that's least known, despite the fact that it's there for DJs. It's the least known one to the average person, which is mostly who you're actually marketing towards. So you have to really let them know. And then the fact that they can't get an app right now to get to your live is sucks. So but once they work that out, Mixcloud is a very viable option, even now in its current state. You just got to put a little more work in than you would with some of the other platforms. But going forward, as they make changes, they're listening and they're integrating things. So I do think that Mixcloud will be a very, very valuable option in the future. As of right now, it's lacking in some areas, but I'm sure that in the coming months and years, it will improve dramatically and will be a great place for DJs to stream. All right, so let's get to the fifth and final platform, which is Twitch. Twitch is the big granddaddy of them all. All the other platforms are basically trying to mimic what Twitch has been doing for years for gamers. YouTube made the live platform, basically trying to get in on the market that Twitch had already built. Microsoft had Mixer for the same reason, which is now being shut down, which was announced about a week ago. Facebook got into Facebook gaming, for the same thing. So Twitch is the one that everybody's trying to copy. So that's a great thing for us as DJs, because we've got a platform that's already made, that is already viable and strong and ready to go for live streaming. A lot of people are coming over to that platform because they're realizing their favorite DJs are on there. And you've got Jazzy Jeff, DJ Craze, Z Trip, Questlove, DJ Markey, you name it. It's a lot of people that are on there. Beat Junkies, a lot of people are on there. So the reason why they're all wanting to come over to Twitch is because Twitch doesn't shut down your live stream. You're able to actually play through your whole set and not have to worry about any backdoor deals or worry about them flagging you because of the algorithm catching you or anything like that. You'll be able to play your entire set and they not shut you down. I know for a fact Twitch does not have any kind of time limits, because there have been many gamers who have done 24-hour streams for charity. And they didn't have to go to Twitch and set anything up in advance. They just stream. So it's definitely a viable option as far as that goes. Monetizing, there's a lot of options. You got subscriptions, bits, you get ad revenue, and we'll break all that down in a future video. Like I said, we're going to talk about monetizing at some point in the future, very soon. But there's a lot of options there. Once you become an affiliate, which is not hard to do on Twitch, you just have to put in some work. And once you get there, you can start monetizing through the platform. And this again is outside of tips or donations that you set up, putting your Cash App there, your PayPal, whatever. It's outside of all that. So there's a lot of good options there that can help you generate some revenue off of your channel. There's a lot of add-ons. So I mentioned that with YouTube, pretty much every add-on that's available for YouTube is actually also available for Twitch. Probably was available for Twitch first, and then they added YouTube after. But there's a lot of add-ons, there's integrations, there's things that are already a part of the Twitch platform that you can add in. They call them extensions that you can add on to your channel to get other functionality out of it. So it's just a platform that has a lot of really good things that are already set in place. When you're an affiliate, you can get custom emotes. Your viewers, or your subscribers rather, because you have to be subscribed in order to get access to those custom emotes that you create for your channel, and then they can take those emotes with them on any channel that they go in and view. As long as they're subscribed to you, they can still use them, which is a really cool thing, because you can make something that is custom to you. I've seen people do like images of their face, of their logos, different things like that, and then somebody might use that on another channel, and then somebody in the chat's like, hey, where'd you get that? I got it from this channel. They might come over and subscribe to you just because they like the emote. It's that's more revenue for you. There's a lot of really cool things with the emotes, and a lot of fun stuff that keeps the audience engaged, and they love that. Now, as far as affiliate status, right now, I don't know how long this is going to continue, but as of now, if you have SoundCloud Pro subscription, then you can actually get fast track to affiliate status. And I'll leave a link to that form in the description of the video, and you can just file for that, and not have to work as hard. I think you still have to put some effort in. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't had to do that, because we actually made our way to affiliate the normal way before we found out about that form. But I think that's a really cool thing that SoundCloud partnered up with Twitch to do that. That's going to help a lot of DJs be able to monetize, especially in the climate we're in right now with this pandemic, and people can't work in venues like they normally do, or go and do weddings, or whatever kind of DJ you are where you make money. So this is a way that you can generate some cash for what you do. So let's talk about some cons, because that was a lot of pros for Twitch. Let's talk about some cons, because there are some downsides. Just like with YouTube, Twitch, it's optional. It's a little toggle switch that you can set, but you can have Twitch to archive your videos. So those are called video on demands, or VODs for short. The algorithm, same one, Audible Magic, will analyze that the audio from that broadcast, and will mute any portions of it that it flags. Now, this varies on how long it takes. I've seen it initially, I saw it take maybe about 4 days. Then I saw it take 2 days. Then I saw it take 1 day. Then I started seeing it take hours. And then it went back to 2 days, and now it's right around 3 or 4. So I don't know if they're changing things, or if they are, it's dependent upon their server workload as to why that time frame keeps shifting. But as of right now, it's about 3 or 4 days. Usually around the 3-day mark is when you start seeing it muted. So that's something to consider. But it's not a huge deal breaker because you are able to get through the live stream, and that was the important part, was playing live, because you want to have that live interaction with your audience. The archive is just for promo purposes, or for those that you want to be able to watch the stream but they weren't able to catch you live, you can send them the video. And there's other things to that, but again, that's for later on down the line. We're just talking about pros and cons right now. There is a way to create clips. You can do that during the live video or through the archive copy, and it's like a up to 60-second clip, which is a really cool thing that you can do. That actually is technically a pro that you can do it, but it ends up also on the con list because recently the RIAA has sent out takedown notices to Twitch to send out to some of the streamers about copyrighted content in some of their live videos. I'm sorry, in their clips that they have. So because of that, you run risk of violating Twitch's terms. Do it too many times, then you can get shut down, or your channel can be deleted, suspended, different things like that. So it's a tough situation with that. Right now, it's nothing for DJs to be alarmed about, because the only people that have been affected by that so far have been gamers, because the videos out of the clips that they're flagging are from 2 years ago. And at this point, or at that time, there weren't really many DJs, very, very few, because I've looked at over the last several years, not many DJs were streaming on Twitch. So all of the ones that are being flagged right now are game streams where they have music playing in the background. So far we've been safe from that. I don't know if we triggered it. We're still a very small percentage of the population of Twitch. So I don't know if what us being on there is what triggered that. But it is something that is taking place at the moment with those takedown notices. So easy solution to that: just don't make any clips. If somebody makes a clip, delete it. You don't have to keep the clips on there. It's a great tool for promo, but you don't have to use it. It's completely optional. You don't even have to have it save the VODs. That's an optional thing as well. So it's totally up to you how you handle that. But just understand what is going on in the background and why things are happening, and you can make that decision on how you want to handle that. All right, and there you have it. Those are the top 5 platforms for DJs to stream on right now. Facebook and Instagram are options that you can go with, but just be aware of how they actually operate and which ways they can negatively impact you. And Mixcloud, Twitch, and YouTube are much better solutions, but they all have their ups and downs. So it's up to you to choose which platform is best for you. My job here was just to inform and let you know about the details with each one. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer as many questions as I can, as thoroughly as I possibly can. All right, so that's it for me, and you guys take care. Happy streaming.